guys, I've got a pretty damn good one for you today. I'm going to be looking at some other people's replays. There are these two that I want to be looking at. These were sent in by Nectablud, who is one of my long-term friends. I think we'll just show 2 and 3 for now. Then we'll just show these two. I'll just show 2 battles this vid. So it's Nectablud versus his friend Connor. I don't know Connor personally, but I do know Nectablud personally. And Nectablud, his PC, I'm pretty sure I've already referenced. His PC is a cardboard box, to put it bluntly. I don't mean to be horrible, but you know, I mean, several weeks ago now, I did say to him, you know, just tell me what your components are. He said, oh, I don't know what components are. So I'm like, okay, just open up your computer. And he's like, no, I don't want to. Oh, just stop being a pussy. So he eventually opened up his computer, and he managed to get the kind of statement or the receipt what his computer contained. And I saw his components, and I said, bro, just get a graphics card. So I recommended a graphics card. I recommended the 650 Ti, which came out not too long ago. Pretty sure it came out 2 months ago or so. So it's a very new card. And he now runs Shogun at ultra settings. He spent £99 on a graphics card, or £91 I think it was, on a graphics card, and his computer went from being barely able to play Shogun on low settings to playing on ultra at about a good solid 30-40 FPS frame rate, which you have to admit is not bad going. So we'll get kicking into the battle. He's got 3 bow samurai up front. He's then got 3 katana samurai to follow. He's then also got some naginata attendants. Now, I would say the positioning of these is slightly unorthodox. You don't really want to be doing this nectar. I always keep, and most people usually just keep 1 spear unit at the back, which is a very, very good idea indeed, because it just kind of covers your general. But I mean, the other 4 can be used more wisely. You could cover your flanks with them, and then you can have 2 on the front to soak up any arrow fire instead of your bow samurai sustaining any fire. And also they can kind of act as a meat shield in case the enemy's got any nasty tricks up their sleeves, like heavy gunners. Oh, heavy gunners. But Nectablud is also fielding some Hanzo shadows. These guys are devastating, but unfortunately they did get seen running across here, and they're just going to get picked at by Connor's Bocav. He's also fielding some mounted gunners and some Yarikav. Connor, on the other hand, is fielding some heavy gunners, as we've already seen. Bulletproof Samurai, Naginata Attendants, which is a good unit. Some Yari Yashigaru. He's also got some Tokitaka's Tengashima. I probably just offended a crap ton of Japanese people, but there you go. They're like a hero matchlock unit, pretty devastating. He's got some Yarikav. I think he's got 2 Yarikav, 2 or 3 Yarikav. I think he's got 3 Yarikav. I'm not entirely sure. He's also fielding some Katana Samurai, and Katana Samurai. And then obviously his general is called Connor. Very nice. And he's got his 2 Bocav. So let's get swinging into the battle. Nectablud is obviously shooting at Connor's Yarikav with his mounted gunners. It was an excellent idea that he stopped here and hightailed it back out, because as gun units you never ever want to be going just over a little ridge to try and shoot at some melee troops. It's an extremely bad idea. You want to be keeping your range as much as possible. I think, see, if I was Connor, I would still be peppering these guys with arrows. I mean, yeah, okay, they're in woods, so it's not really that ideal. You never really want to be shooting into a forest with bow units. It's a catastrophic error. You never do it. But I mean, on that occasion, Hanzo shadows are deadly in melee. You want to try and keep your range as much as possible. He's going to charge his Yarikav in, I think, to go support his mounted Naginata. But these guys are just going to get eaten alive by Nectablood's Yarikav. Star Ruler. He's also going to truck up his other mounted gunners and just maybe take some pot shots. These guys will have a lot of presence on the battlefield. Get that presence in lane, bruh. And this is pretty much how it's just gonna hold a little bit. Although I would say move up the Naginata attendants and Yari Cav in front of your skirmishing units. I would say that. So Nectablud begins to ninja bombing. I love ninja bombing, it's hilarious. So he's throwing his ninja bombs at the Bocav. Oh, ow. That was a very good move by Connor to do that, by taking out Nectablud's ninjas to begin with, because you know these guys are very deadly in melee combat, so they'll get a fair amount of kills just from doing this. I'd probably say charge these guys in as well. I think he's going to charge in as general. Yeah, there is his general. So this is a good idea. Just shutting down and basically just cav destroying these ninjas. Obviously in sustained combat these ninjas will do very well. I mean, if you look, they've already got about 40 odd kills. Yep, there you go, they've got 40 kills. But Connor did an excellent job there of cleaning house. He just wiped out all of those Hanzo shadows, which is an excellent idea, because these guys, if they got into his lines, he would have been screwed, to put it bluntly. Nectablud is going to continue to harass with his mounted gunners. We might just see a shot off here, I'm not sure. We should do. I think Connor's a bit absent-minded on this side of the battlefield, and because he hasn't moved yet. And bang. Ouch. I'm pretty sure they just lost about 30 men. Just going to charge them in anyway. These guys run crazy fast. But I mean, what I would have said for Harrison, as a sort of, just as a sort of strategy, I would have said, whilst Connor was all up in, you know, his ninja's grill, I would have said Nectablud should have just charged in and just kind of wiped out Connor's army whilst his general was absent. That would have been a nice idea. But Connor takes his Bocav on the hillside and he just begins to pepper Nectablud's mounted gunners, which this is an excellent idea also. So Nectablood's going to begin to move up his army. For some reason he doesn't fully engage. I mean, I probably would have brought my men up to this tree line here. Probably would have shot at these guys or tried to take out any of his heavy gunners if I could. Connor's got his general over here. I'd quickly run him back just in case Nectablud begins to attack. And that's how it's going. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am so tired. Oh dear. I've done so many replays today. I think this is my 4th video. The 4th one. It's not bad going. Yeah, it should be about my 4th replay. I think I might do another 2. Obviously I'm going to do another little battle after this. This is all going to be one video though. I mean, it's quite weird that they've just had these little skirmishes, but they haven't quite fully engaged their armies yet. Nothing's really going to be kicking off till these armies actually get into each other. I think I might just fast forward it a tad, because obviously there's a little bit of back and forth. Okay, now we're going to begin to move forward. Again, I'd say with these guys, I think he's upgraded the charge bonus. Always go for melee attack first. That's the first thing I would always upgrade on any sword infantry unit. Always melee attack, and then go for charge. I mean, I upgraded morale as well. But that's because I'm a bit of a morale centric. I love to have an army which has got a crap ton of morale, just so they can sustain in combat a bit longer, even if they're losing. More morale equals staying in combat longer. Staying in combat longer means more kills. Simple little equation I do. Still not going to be moving up. Come on, you guys, stop being girls. I mean, Nectablud's here has got the range. Oh, this camera just got sprayed by those mounted gunners. He's going to be attacking. Ooh, yeah, he's just going to be sneaking up in the forest and attacking from uphill. He's done very well with his Yari Cav so far. Connor has been throwing his Yari Cav away a little bit, but I suppose that's kind of due to the mounted gunners. He can't really do much else. But I would have countered these mounted gunners persistently with my bow cav. That's what I would have done. Also, to sustain less casualties, put these guys in loose formation. This really does help, guys. Just put your units in loose formation if they're getting peppered. Oh, that was a nice little hit. So always put them in loose formation. That can really help. See, whilst Connor's up here, you know, trying to ward off this little cav attack, if I were Nectablud, I'd be charging all my troops in. I'd be peppering them with arrows, especially these heavy gunners, because these guys are pretty darn deadly. Well, they don't really do too much damage, but they're funny to watch. But they mess up your formation pretty darn well. So I mean, it looks like Connor has warded off that attack quite well. Again, never ever charge or chase down cavalry with infantry units. You should never be doing that. So he's going to truck up his heavy gunners. I just love watching these guys. Be taking some heavy fire. See, what I would have said, this would have been perfect for him. He should have taken his Naginata attendants up, and boom! Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? He's just going to be taken up by waves. But I would have said, bring up your Naginata attendants, Connor. Put them in front of your heavy gunners. As soon as they both all got in range of Nectablud's archers, they would have been shot at by his archers, not your heavy gunners. So use these guys as a bit of a meat shield. So we're going to continue to watch these guys just get launched backwards in a very hilarious fashion. Oh my goodness. It's nice. So now we're finally going to be getting into the battle. Nectablud charges back his bows to a safe distance. I would have said probably just leave them there and charge in the rest of all of your sort of samurai units. And this is where we're going to make our stance. I would have charged in my Naginatas first. That's generally what personally is what I do. So I always charge in my crap units first, and then once they tire out the enemy's best, I then charge in my best and clean house. That's normally the way I operate. Also, I mean, if your good units, if they go in second, all of your kind of crap units, all of their morale will break first from sustaining so many casualties, and then you charge in your best units. Your best units won't be as affected as much in terms of morale as the crap units would. So I mean, if you send in all your best morale units first, if they get slaughtered, you try and charge in your crap units who have got poor morale. They will then break. Now this is a bad move by Harrison. He could have made this job much easier for himself, and he could have just charged him. He could have just charged several of his troops around the flanks into the rear and closed off all of Connor's troops. Yeah, you've probably noticed I've been saying Harrison. Nectablood's name is Harrison, so just in case you're getting confused, that's what I'm talking about. So it's kind of a mix between Nectablud and Harrison. I'm trying to say Nectablud, but his name is Harrison, so just forgive me if I keep on mixing between the two. They're the same person. So yeah, I mean, he should have just ran his guys in around the flanks to get the full enclosure, and also to take out Connor's bodyguard. Now, at this point, if I were Connor, I would have just outright charged my general at Nectablood's general. I would have done that to try and get some kills. I think he tries to do it. Yeah, he attempts to do it, but unfortunately his lines break. And we're going to get some nice fire effects here. So we got the kind of hero matchlock units who are being fired at, and that is the end of the battle. We will view the replays because this is going to be a double featured video. and we'll go into the next battle of these two. This will be a modern battle. Oh my goodness. So if any of you guys have got any battles, just send them to me, and I will be more than willing to watch them and maybe even commentate, so just make sure you do it. I'm still working on that 50th video. Oh god. Here we go, now we're into the battle. I'm still trying to organise that bloody 3v3. I really want Sarav to get into this battle. I'll probably do it for next week, because I'll probably just upload all the battles that I've done now, pretty much, leading up to the 50th. Oh crap, we need to be talking about the units first. Actually no, we can just go ahead. So, Nectablud is fielding White Bear, White Bear, White Bear, Infantry Marine, Red Bear, White Bear, and he's also got some some wooden cannons. And he's got some spear levy, spear levy, spear levy. That's a good amount of spear levy because it covers the whole of his back line, and he can respond to different threats throughout the line. He's also then got a Yariki over there. I think 2 Yariki over here. Yep, 2 Yariki over there. Connor is fielding his general. He's called Mars. He's then got White Bear, White Bear, White Bear, White Bear, Bokatchi, White Bear, White Bear, and White Bear. That's good. I mean, White Bear in an early stage of FOTS in Fall of the Samurai, you want to be playing White Bear against other modern armies, but you want to be playing Red Bear against traditional armies. So White versus other modern armies, and then, oh crap, that nearly hit his general, just missed by 2. So yeah, if you're playing against another modern guy, bring White Bear. If you're playing against a traditional guy, bring Red Bear. He's going to be running off his Yariki into the distance. I would have said this is a little bit too far. I probably would have scooted them up to this forest here. Now this is critical as well. I need to point this out. Always look at the positioning of your troops. I can't stress this enough. Normally, I would say, oh my god, this is shocking. You know, you go into first person. These guys are not facing anything. They're facing a ridge line. If they shoot, they'll be shooting into grass ahead of them. But there's actually a very good logic to doing it this way. I'm not sure whether Nectablud did it intentionally, but if he did, it's a good idea. Because I'll point out why. Because normally you never ever want to be doing this. But I mean, against another Fall of the Samurai army, this is an excellent idea to do. I'd like to point out, Infantry Marine, don't place them in the middle. I would personally say, don't put them in the middle, because obviously if you've got a big line like this, all their fires overlapping, these guys are caught in the middle of it. Put them on the flank where they're least likely to be fired upon by multiple units. Put them on the flank where they'll only have maybe 1-2 units firing at them, but in this case they'll have a lot firing at them. Now this, I'm still trying to make my mind up on how I would have done this. Unfortunately for Connor, the reason why Nectablud's positioning is so good is because obviously he's got that ridge right in front of him. This means that Connor is going to have to march all of his men right up to the top of this ridge to be able to shoot down, and they'll be shooting in close proximity. Not only will they be shooting in close proximity, but it's worse for Connor, because obviously he's going to have to get to the top of this hill, stop, his guys are going to have to present and then fire, whereas as soon as they get to the top of that hill, Nectablood's guys will just be firing away at him. Now automatically, he's on this side where he's not got a ridge, they're beginning to exchange fire. I would have said do not charge in your katana catchy this early in the game. They're getting absolutely shredded. They're now broken. You've just lost about, I'd say about good 62 men is that? I mean, you've lost about a good 62 men pretty needlessly. I would have said march your guys up onto about here and then quickly charge them down. That's what I would have said. But also, you want to be keeping that straight line. As you can see here, Nectablud has got a very, very nice straight line of troops going all the way down. That's what you want. Whereas Connor, he's a lot more dog-legged. His guys are kind of firing over each other, and their arcs of fire will be overlapping, but you want to have that nice straight line. Really, that's what you want to be having. He's also got some engagements in the background with some Yari, Cav, and again, don't bring your spear units out of formation with your army and try and attack cavalry, because your cavalry can outpace them, and literally this is now what's going to happen. You'll see the result of why you should never ever do this. Also, what I'd say is extend your troops. These guys are all in 3 rank formations on both sides, Nectablud and Connor. You never do this with bear infantry. You want to extend them for as long as possible. You want these guys to be in the longest front line as you can, for as many of them to get shots off as you can. And this is the devastation that can happen if you isolate your kind of Yari infantry from your army. Nectablud had a clear and easy range, 2 full units of Yari key into Connor's general. This is why you never pull your spear units away from any battlefield, from any army. And now he's just going to start firing into his own general, which is not going to be healthy for him. His general dies, and literally his whole army just breaks immediately. So that's kind of what happened then. It was a combination of the Yari key getting in and destroying his general, but also the kind of dog-legged formation. Unfortunately, Connor did have. Nectablud managed to win that as well, also because he's hiding in woods. He's obviously stood there waiting for Connor to advance to him. That's a good idea. That's what you want. You want the enemy to come to you in a Fall of Samurai battle, because whoever gets the first shot off, if your troops are fairly even, whoever gets the first shot off should win. Again, extend your troops out. Never ever have them in 3 rank formation. Always have them in the least kind of ranked you can. If you can get them into one massive line, that's a good idea, especially bear infantry, because only the front rank can fire. There's no kneeling or anything involved. Only their front rank can fire. So the more men you got on that front rank, the more can fire, the more devastation you're going to dish out. If Harrison did that against me, say Harrison again, or Connor did that to me, where they had 3 ranks and I had a nice long thin line as my front rank, my guys would be dishing out almost twice the amount of pain that their troops will be with their 3 rank formation. Only the first rank can fire. I can't stress that enough. Also, Connor did make an awful mistake, which was to bring out those spear units. You can't bring those spear units out of formation. You have to stick them with your army, because if you go chasing after cavalry, your cavalry can manoeuvre around them and hit your back lines, which is the whole reason why you bring spear units to a battle, is to protect against cavalry. But there's my rant for both of those guys. Didn't realise that my profile picture comes up where Nectablu's name is. So we'll go into the battle. The battle statistics. And there we go. So again, bring white bear infantry 2 modern battles, red bear 2 traditional, and there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed this double header, and have a good